Today's question is, what's your worst birthday memory?
My mother had just moved us in with our stepdad. It was summer. They met that winter and we moved in the spring. Yanked us out of our schools and we went to tiny horrible local schools. It was a miserable time and my new stepdad was very unpleasant and it escalated to emotional abuse quickly. I was not allowed to have contact with any of my friends, the friends I grew up with. No email, nothing. So they tell me I can have a small birthday party and invite my friends, the ones I miss and grew up with. I'm so excited. They make plans. I make plans. My parents have me clean the entire house and I do it all, happily. I finally felt heard. The day before, after doing yard work because party, my mom calls me out to the garage and says she's sorry but the party won't be happening. She's contacted my friend's parents and it's all off. Why? My stepdad is having a friend to visit that day. On my birthday. I was gutted. The day of? My birthday is not acknowledged beyond a verbal happy birthday at breakfast. To the point where when it finally came up during the visit with stepdad's friend, this friend looks pretty appalled. I didn't know it was your birthday, and he seemed so sad and confused. That night my mom said she and my stepdad were going to a coffee place. I asked to come. Maybe a donut? No, you can stay here, right? That stupid pleading mom face where they ask your permission not to prioritize you. It sucked. A super sweet 15 LOL. I worked as a cashier at this Japanese restaurant when I was in college that had this really mean owner named Carol. She was so terrible that we had a revolving door of people quitting after a day of working with her. After a while, she would warm up to you a bit and be a little kinder, but she could still be very difficult most days. Had been working there around 4 or 5 months, and she was starting to teach me to make sushi rolls. I wasn't that great at them and had to take it really slowly to do them right, but it got to the point where if it was slow and we got a simple order, she would let me take care of it. It was kind of fun for me, and I wanted to learn how to be better, so I didn't mind. I was working there on my birthday one year, and we get a customer come in for simple avocado rolls. So Carol tells me to handle it while she goes out back and has a cigarette. I take care of it, but after she left we had a bunch more people walking in asking for rolls, some that I didn't feel confident enough to make at that point since they involved being topped with fish. I step out back to see where Carol was and she was nowhere to be found. I had to come back and struggle to make the rolls that I knew how, while apologizing profusely to the customers, explaining that I was just the cashier and had no idea where the sushi chef was. About 10 to 15 minutes later, Carol finally comes back, and instead of being sorry for stepping out, she yells at me for being too slow and helping the customers out. She apologizes to them for me and quickly makes their orders, and at the same time belittling me by saying stuff like, "See, that wasn't so hard." I was so embarrassed and pissed off at her. I was so close to quitting that night. I didn't speak to her again all night, and she could tell I was upset and asked why I was mad. I told her it was my birthday, and she made me feel like complete shit, which I didn't appreciate. She laughed and told me to learn to take a joke, and then told me to come tomorrow, which was Moo Day off, and she'd make it up to me with a free sushi dinner for me and my girlfriend. Free sushi was not enough to make up for making me feel so shitty on my birthday. So I had this friend over at my house, and it was going to be my 13th birthday. Well, my brother, who was 17 at the time, asked me to make him a shake, and I thought it would be funny to mix in all the worst things I could find. It had ketchup, mustard, soy sauce, Hershey's chocolate syrup, and plenty more. By the end, it was a brown that visually passed for a chocolate shake. Well, I gave it to him. He takes a sip and is gagging. I and my friend think it's hilarious, until he decides he is going to beat my ass. Me and my friend take off running into the kitchen where we are all running left and right around an island. My family keeps a centerpiece of apples or oranges or whatever we feel like putting in a fairly large bowl in the center of the island, to which my brother decides he is tired of chasing us and just grabs an orange. I don't notice this yet, and he launches one at my head, smacking me perfectly in the temple. Orange busts on impact, and I got knocked out on the spot. My friend is scared for his life, and at this point, I've unconsciously pissed myself. I come to and my mom is losing her shit at my brother, who feels pretty bad now for knocking me out, then embarrassing me in front of a friend on my birthday. Needless to say, I had a headache that just wouldn't go away for what felt like forever. We all look back on it now and think it's pretty funny, but my mom still wants to beat my brother's ass for it. TLDR, I pranked my brother and he knocked me out for it. The day I was born, my brother, 2 at the time, ran into a corner and busted his head open. My first birthday, he stepped in my cake. My 6th birthday, he got his first black card at school, calling parents for a parent meeting. My 8th birthday, my dad brought home a GameCube for my brother and then said to me, "Oh yeah, it's half yours too." My 11th birthday, he got into a fight at school and was suspended. My 16th birthday, he got into his first car accident. I've never had a terrible birthday, but my brother has done something most years to put attention on him. I don't think it's on purpose. As we've gotten older, it hasn't happened. Just sort of unconsciously trying to get attention for him. We're extremely close and I love him, but yeah, he ruined a lot of birthdays for me. We were going to Chuck E. Cheese for my birthday, and my birthday is in February. We're driving behind a semi, and all of a sudden it drops a huge sheet of ice on our windshield. Shatters the passenger side, but doesn't break. I was in the back seat behind the driver, and I had just laid down to take a nap. Abruptly awoken to the impact of the ice. My mom kept a cool head, didn't swerve or anything, and pulled off to deal with it. Now, when I was just a year old, I was with my mom when she had the accident, crashed head-on with a semi on black ice. Mom got a TBI. I survived without injury. I guess the ICS hitting the windshield gave me some kind of flashback, and I was terrified, blubbering tears, and I refused to get back in the car. We had car troubles before, so I was used to breakdowns. Not this time. My mom had a friend pick me up, and my mom drove the car home since we couldn't afford a tow. She came back with a cake, and we ate it. I was a little brat the rest of the day, even though my mom tried her best. My day was ruined, and has since remained a bitter memory. I woke up excited to spend a day with my friends. I had the day off of work, for once, and I wanted to go spend some me time as well as go out and be a normal teen. My dad woke me up early and told me to get in the car because he needed someone to go with him so that he could use the HOV lanes. That's fine. I'll still have the whole afternoon. Right? Wrong. We were gone the whole day, which he failed to tell me. I had to cancel my plans and spend the entire day being his +1 on errands all over the city. No lunch because he was trying to save money and there was plenty of food at home. Further, because I wasn't eager and happy for the opportunity to do what he wanted, I was treated to a whole gambit of insults about my selfishness and lack of gratitude, which is rich coming from the man who gave us the silent treatment through Christmas because we didn't get him the blender he wanted. I ended up crying silently on a sidewalk curb. Happy birthday to me. Spoiler, it's been almost a year since I went no contact. Best decision I have ever made. I just wish I'd gone no contact sooner. My mom had this one PTA friend from the elementary school. Both of our families went out to eat at Chili's after some volunteer even around my birthday. The lady's son also had a birthday around the same time, so they both decided to make this a joint birthday celebration dinner even though I told my mom not to do anything for me at a restaurant. The waiter comes out after dinner with desserts and cones. He said if the tables wanted dessert, we would have to put the cones over our mouths and flap like chickens while they sing the birthday song. My sister loved seeing me embarrassed, and everyone got pictures and videos and told us not to have such a bad attitude about it. Needless to say, I refused to go to a restaurant for my birthday and never tell my friends when my birthday is. My dad was upset that my mom was throwing me a birthday party when I turned 8, so he called me and pretty much made me stay on the phone with him for hours, so I missed the whole thing. And this is the end of today's video. I hope you liked it, and don't forget to comment an anecdote or experience similar to the topic of the video. Leave your like, share if you like the video, And lastly, don't forget to activate the little bell so you don't miss any of our daily videos. Bye-bye.